The city-state of AlkenStar is still there. Don't worry. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the All Guns, No Glory podcast. I am your host, GM Jeff Ball. We are playing a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Outlaws of AlkenStar and trying to modify the rules and using the new Pathfinder Revised Core Remastered Edition. Every month, they rename this. First, it was Pathfinder Core, then it was Pathfinder 2 Core, then it was Pathfinder Remastered, then it was... I don't know. I can't keep up. We're trying our best to bring you the most congruent, the latest and the best in the world of entertainment as much as we can manage here on a Monday night. Where else can you get this much entertainment for $19.95 a month? No, we're free. We are free. But if you like what you hear, if you want to tune in live or just check out our website at www.rollmonger.com, we have Pathfinder 1st Edition Hell's Vengeance, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Outlaws of AlkenStar, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Abomination Vaults with this very crew. Fast forward to Friday, our main crew, we have Star Wars, Dog Edition, Dawn of Defiance. We have a brand new show featuring Joeseph Davis, your Catmandu from this show, DMing a Savage Worlds Pathfinder Rise Rune Lords. Don't worry, it's all official. The two companies are into bed together, and starring, not me. Yeah, I'm part of the cast, but I'm really not the star of that show. And on and on and on we go. Oh yeah, and don't forget, Age of Ashes, Season 3, converted to Pathfinder core rules as much as we can, and on and on and on. We try to do as much as we can for you. We are working our dicey little fingers to the bone. And speaking of bones, right in the middle of combat, placing himself in the center of the room, Pilo Jesus, Gesundheit, is not one to get into the brunt of the fight, but in these close quarters, I'm very curious to see if he pulled... Remember that top stair? That elbow smash that our little skeleton did? You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm very curious to see if he can pull off some up close and personal. But do not worry, because Eric, Andre... Stoutbeard is in the house. That's right, guys. Our cleric is back in town, back on the mic, and is here to stay, well, until his job takes him away again. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PCs against my poor little NPC. Well, this is not going to be a very fair fight, in my opinion, but we shall see. Taking you guys back to the battle board, introducing some epic battle music, and adjusting, zooming in for impact. Guys, it is the top of round 3, and it is the humanoid construct's turn. This sucker has 10-foot reach, newly Bender Futurama arms, but he's hoisted a very large repeating crossbow and is tired of taking pot shots at you guys because you're all in his face. Perhaps I will drop my crossbow as a free action, or switch. Standard Rules Core Edition Pathfinder, you can switch weapons. Do something and pull something out. So my question for my rules lawyers is, what if that weapon you pull out is just your fist? Is there anywhere stated as per core rule that a switch as a single action is it an ability? Is it a feat? Or is it just standard combat maneuver anyone can do? And must you literally put one away and whip one out? If I can, crossbow goes on my back. If not, he drops it at his feet and we will continue combat, giving those muted up something to do to look up at those rules while I continue on with our handy dandy story. I've got a guy on a table stabbing me. I got a pile of bones to my left. I got a guy shooting me in the face directly in front of me. 1Z, 2Z, 3. Left to right, I will roll a 3-sided dice. and let your positions decide your numbers, with Charwin being 1 and 2, Pylo being 3 and 4, and Valentine being 5, 6, or 1, 2, and 3, prospectively. A 6 is a 3, which means I'm going to reach out and clap a certain construct. How dare you attack me, brother? Knock some sense into my fellow. We should be attacking the meat bags. Oh, wouldn't it be great to do like a HK-47? You guys just run into some rusted little Call of Duty meat bag. I have to stow that idea away for later. But enough stalling. Enough ranting. It's time. Some action. Suck fist. 24. I slap you. 24. The Valentine doing 2d6 plus 7 bludgeoning damage plus a free push. According to my little stats here. Well, that's interesting. Ooh. As a second action, I'm allowed to do a push. I think I will. Now, the attack is a plus push, so I believe the attack roll is what I use in exchange for an athletics roll. I double down on the action, and I push. Here's a question. Matt. L.
So is it improved?
Yes, sir.
L. Sorry? Doing the what now?
Is it improved push or just push? Because if it's improved push, then he can do it as part of the action. If it's just push, then he still has to make an athletics roll. It just gives you the ability without having a free hand. Then swapping is one action, and you can swap regardless of what the weapon is.
Okay. Oh, welcome back, Eric, he's double hitting it. Yeah, I was going to ask Matt about his trip, because he hits the guy, but we still make him do the athletics to yank him over, so I'm assuming it worked the same way. Thank you, gentlemen. So,
speaking of which, action, I think this guy was prone at the beginning of the round.
Yes, that is true. He was prone.
I was prone? Why was I prone?
Because I tripped you.
Oh, because you tripped me.
Oh,
yeah, that's why when you said...
All right. Yeah, okay.
Trip, I was like, yeah, speaking of which...
No, I missed that part. Oh, there it is, prone. Okay. I let go of the crossbow for free. No need to switch. As a single action. My single action will be to stand up and provoke. Anybody? Anyone a fighter? Huh? Fighter, attack of opportunity, going once, going twice. God, I love this system. I get up. I might get knocked down again. I'd walk 1,000 miles just to be the droid that walked 1,000 miles to slap you upside the head, keeping my roll. 24 hit you. 17 points of damage to Valentine. And as a second action, I'm going to use my push ability to do athletics roll and athletically shove you. Plus 10. 25 against your fortitude. Now, for your fortitude base, Valentine, I want you to add 10 to your fortitude saving throw and let me know what the number is. I want you to unmute your mic, add 10 to your fortitude, and then let me know what the number is.
19.
Oh.
My own fault, because in combat everybody mutes, and yeah. Well, shovey shove. You go slapping backwards 5 feet. Now, I don't think it's so nasty let you go flying and hit a wall. It's just a stagger, you know. You don't hit something and take damage. There's no crit on this. No crit push for the actual 10 feet.
If you crit succeeded on your push, you would have pushed him 10 feet, and then there would have been damage because I
hit a wall. Yeah. But with a 25, I'm not looking at... Sorry, I worded that wrong. With a 25, it's not a crit, so you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. How do you like it, Spiegler? He was shoving around my sneaky thieves in Age of Ashes the other night, knocking them off roofs and stuff. That's right. It's funny because I didn't make this creature. I'm just looking at it going, oh, a fist, oh, a push, oh.
But did you forget about the little additional thing that they added on to push that should you choose to, you can follow for free?
Yeah, but I'm actually interested in 10-foot reach.
Oh.
Right? Get out of my way, shove, right? So get off me. I might want to go out the front door. You don't know. You don't know me. One action to rise, one action to strike, and one action to push. So I'm actually done. And that brings us to Andreas. Eric, welcome back to the show, Stoutbeard.
Well, trying to
work on a key. You got this construct dude who seems semi-sentient. You know, he's a little bit too, I wouldn't say animated, but he's a little bit too aware and vocal like Valentine just to be some programmed guard. But he's wound down practically to nothing. You know, the voice is very tinny. He's losing power. And if Master has the key and Master isn't here, it's probably going to take you a good hour to craft him a new key. And then suddenly, razzle dazzle, boom bang, guys walk through a door, leave it open, and you see 12 seconds of combat floating out. What do you do?
Okay, well, sweep up. Sorry, little guy, but my friends are in trouble. I'll be right back. You're not going anywhere. We'll get you fixed up, I promise. But I got to take care of this first.
Sweep up.
Move forward 20 feet.
Okay. Leaving the workbench where you had fought one of these creatures before.
And
jog, shuffle, shuffle.
Call upon Bry to let logic guide the arms of my compatriots here in aid in the defeat of the construct as I cast Bless.
Okay. Now, what you guys can't see in the podcast is if he looks over his shoulder, there's a straight eye line on an angle through the door, past the table, past Pilo, onto this thing that's waving in the corner. So letting him know what he's fighting, not really a cheat, because as he walks towards the door, he has 20 feet of an eye line to go, oh, I know what that is. We just fought one. So I'm not going to call Eric on any kind of meta. And you cast Bless?
Yeah, so 15 feet out from me. Okay. So you see a bunch of cogs kind of radiate off the center of Andrus as he whacks his hammer to his shield. And these cogs spread out in about a 15-foot radius. And then next time I'll expand that as we go.
You hear that, Doug? Are you listening, Doug? That's how you cast a spell and describe how your spell is cast, Doug. I love Doug. He came back to the show recently. We missed him terribly. Awesome. And that's you?
That's me.
Charwin, get ready. Valentine, you're on deck. Charwin, what do you want to do?
Good question.
Take it off. Those waving hands have $10 bills. You know, you're on the table already dancing. Why not?
I think what I'll actually do is I will tell... Can I tell Pilo to, as a free action, get back and then delay my turn?
Sure.
And I'll delay my turn
you're not pointing out an attack or an ambush or something that costs an action. You just, tell him, hey, do this. And it's a simple command, right? So sure.
Okay. And then I'll delay until after Pilo's turn.
Okay, so Pilo is 16. We'll put you at 15. Okay. Which brings us to Blaster of the Valentine.
I am going to move out of the way, and I'm going to go just outside the door to the room. Over here, 20 feet.
Okay. Try not to step on the little man-dog doll Chucky thing in your way. He's your new best friend.
Yeah.
As you cross through Matt's position out to the doorway. Okay.
And then I'll fire my weapon.
Okay. I love how our ranged combatant is completely oblivious to putting himself in range of other combatants. Like you just put yourself between the dwarf and your combatant.
What do you mean?
I'm just teasing you because it's not like the dwarf has a gun that he shoots.
Oh, okay.
You literally move to get a clear shot, but you block the dwarf's access for spellcasting and eye line sight and all that stuff by doing that.
I figured he's probably going to move through me into the room.
I love your character. I just think he's sort of like innocently arrogant or innocently, like just the one-track mind. Anyway, sorry. You shift over and razzle-dazzle with the
attack of the dueling pistol. Target acquired. That's a hit.
That's 29.
I was hoping for a crit, but sadly no.
It's not bad. But you'll have to do better than that if you want to crit me.
Yeah, it's not going to do any damage.
4 points resisted. Ping off of that dang armor. You know, it would kind of be like a person peeling the flesh off another person wearing it like some kind of psycho killer. But I got to say, after 2 of these things and the things are going ping off of them, you have anything like feats where you could modify your own body as armor as opposed to just buying armor and wearing it? Something to think about. All done?
Yeah, something to think about.
Okay.
And reload, and that's me.
El Manubrio. Damn it, I've already lost it. Manubrio. Manubrio?
You got it. You got it back,
Awesome.
baby.
El Manubrio in this corner wearing the Lila Moochinucha mask.
I will whip him.
All right.
No, you know what? I will trip first, and then I will whip.
Whip it good.
Thanks, Beagler. I'm dying to say stuff like that. Too heavy on the mic as it is. Okay, sir.
As soon as this pops up. All right, let's go.
Rip these.
Oh, not
Ooh.
20. Suck
Ooh,
it.
Not 20. He goes down hard and takes... What's this? A critical success. Target falls and lands prone, takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage as he smacks his head.
He sure does, but he doesn't take anything because he's very resistant.
Valentine's like, no, my armor, stop. All right. A bing.
And he goes down.
That's 1. Yep.
And then
1 sec.
I will...
Wait for it.
Should you have done more dice damage or no?
Oh, yeah, you got
Well, that's the thing. Like, a prone is a prone, but a crit prone actually does the 1d6.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't get damage out of the gate. He just knocks people over. But the crit, he knocks him so hard, he takes a d6. Unfortunately, I'm somewhat resistant. However, let me give him the prone resistance. There we go. There. Now I am prone. Have at me.
Okay. Pull him down. Interact to change over to... No, I'll just keep going. I'll just keep whipping him. So, I don't know... Because it did this to me automatically last time. I'm going to try it this way. We'll see if it automatically reduces it. Yes, it did. Okay. So that was proper. Hit! With my panacheful whip.
With your panacheful whip. Find something different here. I'm going to try and show the actual
damage for nothing because he's resistant.
Oh, I'm resistant. You've met your match, El Mambrio.
I think we need to apply some sort of different type of damage to this guy than what
besides
I got.
Bludgeoning. On top of bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning doesn't work. Piercing doesn't work. Slashing doesn't work.
And what would you do? Oh, if only there was a way to spend an action to learn shit about your foe. Tiny anime doll called Sweep Up does nothing. You have any actions left?
Does my critical damage apply separately, I wonder? I don't know. Yeah, no, that's me.
Okay. Hilo, what do you want to do? Charwin, get ready. You're on deck because you delayed. Yells at you. Get back.
Well, I tried punching it and didn't work. I saw my buddy whip it a bunch of times and that never worked. So... Oh man, this thing just doesn't want to go down and... All I'm just going to do is scream at the damn thing. Yeah. Give it a shot of haunting him.
That'd be great if you actually got like the real Tarzan yell. Like Hilo's voice cracks, but when he casts a spell, you literally get, the swinging Tarzan.
I can do a Tibetan throat sing, but I'll wait for Pylos to level up to get there.
Oh, okay.
You got me targeted there, or should I target it myself here, Jeff?
He's good to go.
You good to go? All right, let's see what happens here.
You know, you could click on yourself, I hear. Hit control and click on him and see how that works out for you.
I'll try it right now.
All the cool kids are doing it. Yep.
failure. So that means
Oh,
you guys take
no.
damage, right?
If I fail, that's my saving throw. Or is this your attack roll?
That was the saving throw, which is only a saving throw.
So it does it automatically for me. So if you're asking for a save, then yes, that's fail and you get to do damage.
4 damage.
Oh, that got him. Sonically vibrating and shaking internal components as his breath, voice, Celindionness shakes my compository components and messes me up for 4 points of damage. What else you got?
Points to me too.
Oh, is this the reflecting cone? Is this like a 15-foot?
Well, I guess if it's a 15-foot cone, so yeah, if you make it reflect off the walls, it would still do.
Maybe if you were adjacent, but basically because you're hitting him,
Yeah.
and then it would come back through him. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't necessarily hit him twice. Kind of a gray area.
Would I have to?
Sorry?
Would I have to save for my own spell?
Let's leave that as a no. But some of our players that have free time on their hands because combats take forever, look up reflecting a spell or bouncing a spell, cone, that kind of thing. There's got to be something in the new rules. If there isn't, then we'll leave it alone. But if there is, that could be very cool, and we'd have to be very cautious. Anyway, Hilo, you got an action left?
That is 2 actions, and my third action, I'm going to go. Well, we know that yelling at it works, guys, but I also think, and I'll do a recall knowledge and see if I can think of anything else.
Thank you, Breezes.
Ability would be recall under which? Crafting? What would be?
I guess it'd be Brizes. I'd go with crafting, yeah.
Is that the best one, or is there anything else?
I mean, it doesn't fall under humanoid. It falls under construct, and off top of my head, crafting. Eric, can you help me with this? You want to know about constructs? I'm assuming you're recalling a crafting roll.
Makes sense, I think. I'll have to look it up. I was just looking up the other one. Hang on.
It doesn't matter regardless.
Okay. What you need is dubious
You
knowledge.
yell at it, guys. That might work. Don't punch it, though. Punching just hurt my hands a lot. And that's all I got.
Okay. Carwin, ending the round of 3.
Oh, he didn't move.
Oh, he didn't move back. I told him, you told him, but he used lost action to recall knowledge.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention.
Sorry. Let's try and do a hit real quick with my spear.
Okay. Were you going to cast a spell that you were worried was going to rebound off a wall? Type faster, Eric. We need to know these things. Was that why you told me to get back?
Well, I guess my caustic blast, it centers on like between the squares. So unless I can go there and aim, I'm gonna hit Pylo by aiming over here.
Yeah, I
That's
see.
my concern. So it'd be kind of like, do I get to aim at the wall or not?
I would be so kind to say that if you shot the ceiling in the corner diagonally above him, then I could have the ceiling above Pylo and the ceiling below it and it as the blast radius, and at least either he takes no damage or at least half. You follow me?
Okay.
And also, we want to hear the targeting of the spell. Do you have to pick a corner between 4 squares, or does it just say the corner of a square? Because if it says a corner of a square, you can slap any wall you want, problem solved. If it says a corner of 4 squares, my suggestion as a GM would be shoot the roof above it, and at least it's raining down on him as an adjacent square and less so on Pylo. You see what I'm saying? Can you guys picture that?
It's a burst, so it's between the squares.
Okay. Does it say 4 or just your squares of choice? Because there's nothing saying you can't shoot a wall.
It just says a 5-foot burst. But when
Okay.
you go to areas, it just shows that it's the middle point, and then it's the 4 squares around that middle point.
Okay, so we're back to the initial question about rebound. I will say this in my GM judgment, without Rules Lawyer's help: target the ceiling, can at least give Pylo half damage, and he gets his save. Right? He still gets a save because isn't it all reflex based now?
Yes,
you don't actually strike; they just make saves. Okay,
Yep.
so Pylo, give me a save. And what we could possibly do is, instead of just lessen the damage, we could make the save easier. Hence, a lot easier for you to take no damage. I could cut the DC in half. It's another rulebook trick. Charwin, what is the actual save?
Reflex DC 20.
Okay. So if I say it's 10 or 15 for Charwin, who gets a 20, makes his save for half, right?
Pylo's got a 20.
What's your damage, sir?
Let's see. Rolling for the construct, he got a success, so he's also half damage.
Okay. So hit the damage with me.
6 damage.
Right, so half of that for me is 3, half again for Pylo would be a point. And again, I will totally give this back to you if we can find something ruling in your favor, and I will totally drench you with acid if we can find something ruling against your favor, Pylo. But in the meantime, we'll douse Pylo for a single point. Where's Pylo? Pylo. Did you do it already?
Nope.
Okay, I got you. All right. Which brings us to round 4. Fight. Oh, it's my turn. I mean, it's its turn. And in the third person, so Jeff is not blamed, as most DMs wussy out and do, the creature, waving its noodly arms, has space to its left and to the right, and acid splashes down upon its head and sizzles and starts to burn, and does damage it. But there still seems to be quite a lot of fight left in it. And witnessing the source, attack what attacks me, it turns its attention directly on, I'm going to say Chandler. Sorry. Could I be any more acid caustic? Sorry. Charwin. And here comes the fist, Charwin. Just for you. 7 and a miss. Second attack. Penalties ensue. Nat 20 for a crit. Slaps you to the left, plows you with a left hook, and does 2d6 plus 7 bludgeoning damage for 34 points of damage. And its last action is to knock you off that table with... Wait for it. What's your fortitude save, DC? With a 12, never mind. Probably not.
Yeah, 19.
Tries to knock you off the table. But Charwin, just as an old man, just bends in half and you hear horrible bones creaking, much to Pylo's delight. What was that now? 1 strike, 2 strike, and a push. That's me done. Andreas Stoutbeard, you are up. Valentine, get ready. You're on deck. Andreas, what do you want to do?
Ouch. Okay, so well, first thing I'm going to do is walk into the room here.
Okay. So you're 5, 10, 15, just inside the door, or 20. So he's got a clear shot and you're spreading your rye love everywhere.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
So that's one action.
Can you, 1 second, if I target everybody for you, can you actually cast Bless so they get their +1 on their next whatever?
Sounds good. I will do that.
Okay.
Incoming here.
And it should lock that in for all you guys. Then I'll clear your targets. 1 to move. Now you're... Exactly. Your
he gets surrounded by little cogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Your Bless was cast last round, so do you need an actual to concentrate on it, or do you need one to expand it? An action?
Only to expand it. I sustain to expand it, but I see that my friend Charwin here is badly injured, so I will take a 2-action heal and cast heal on Charwin.
Okay, I've got him targeted. If you actually find the heal spell and pull it up and expand it, you'll actually see casting, and you should be able to see some amazing dice thanks to Fantasy Grounds. Did you know?
Andreas should also have the bless.
On himself.
On himself.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. I'll remember the +1. I'm good.
I got it. Got it. Hit it again. I got you targeted.
There we go.
Hit bless again. Thank you.
Thank you.
And clear and Charwin. Thank you, Spiegler.
Okay.
Every little
Incoming
+1
heal.
helps. Okay. Ta-da.
So those should be D10s. I have healing hands.
So in your spell, you should be able to expand that even more and just take a D10 right off your dice board and drop it in where the black silhouette 8s are, and it'll change them for you.
Yeah, done.
Okay. And why am I saying this out loud? Because shout out to Fantasy Grounds, our previous sponsor has asked us to become an affiliate. What's an affiliate, you ask? Oh, I'm so glad I'm interrupting combat to tell you all about this, especially on Eric's turn, because, Aiden's not here. An affiliate program is anything that we have. Our links are basically, if you find a Fantasy Grounds link on our stuff and purchase Fantasy Grounds products, we get props, we get percentage, we get money to go on the Patreon, which means we buy the latest books. Why, I might even splurge and buy the new Pathfinder core rule book with all kinds of druidy and ranger stuff for all of our druidic and rangery characters in several of our shows. So please, if you're thinking about buying anything in the world of Fantasy Grounds, look for our affiliate links at the top of descriptions of our shows, on our website, anywhere you can find it. I'm just hoping it's working.
Please tell me
we have
they
had
call
some
it the Tree Hugger's Handbook.
No, I think they call it the Wild something. The Wild Hunt Handbook or
Missed
something.
opportunity.
It is. You can always write our own splat book, Matt. But thank you. And if you're interested in supporting the show, why, you could also listen. Just listening to the show, telling your friends about the show, or shows, plural, is a huge help to us, and we thank you for that. And if you want some shiny rewards in your future, patron points to spend to affect the fate of characters and my NPCs, good or ill, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollmongers for more information. And now, back to the show. Blaster Valentine. His eyes stop being a projector of me on the wall doing the spammy, ad, and then he's back to fighting.
I'm back to fighting.
Back to fighting. What do you want to do?
I'm looking at these ethereal little cogs floating around. I'm like,
yes. I'm looking at
feel the
Pylo
power.
I'm giving Pylo a +1 shield bonus to me, which kind of cancels your +1. Sorry to be a shit, but unless you want to jump on that table and dance, your +1 will be negated by the shield bonus Pylo is currently giving to your target.
Pylo's just bones. I can shoot through him, no problem. He's not covered.
On. You can't get through the duster, man. Maybe a little bit.
Sorry, chum. Them's the rules. I see green squares touching at their tips, and your aim of fire goes right through a character square, which means, oh, come on, it's only +1. You remember in my day, with +4 shield bonus, couldn't hit shit. Pathfinder 1st edition, be happy. Down here in AlkenStar, we use modern Pathfinder core. What do you want to do?
I hit him for 30, and it's a crit.
Did you put a -1 in your modifier? Because I know you have a +1 from Fantasy Grounds giving you that bless spell, but like I said, I get a +1 to the...
Yeah.
Okay, so with a +16 to hit, does that sound correct? It's supposed to be 17, but is now 16? No, actually, sorry, it's supposed to be 16 because all the cancellation. I mean, at least he gave you a buff spell that cancels out some of the, shall we say, problems. To your
But he's also prone, so he's got -2 defense.
Oh, that's right. I am prone. No, did I get back up again? No, I'm prone again. I'm
Sure
prone.
didn't get up.
Yeah, I'm prone.
Stay down.
I don't know if that still gives me cover bonuses to range attacks anymore.
It gives
I
you a
think that-
minus. It gives you it does affect your AC versus range. Yeah, I think it's just a 2 difference, but it automatically.
Yeah, it
works
says
in.
defense effects -2 at the bottom of the attack roll.
Okay. and you still crit him. Well, dang, son. Ain't you a tall glass of oil on a hot summer day? My IC's 20.
24 points. 24
Nice.
Points. Partially resisted. I line up my pistol and I aim for the perfect vantage point between some plates and release the trigger.
As he's swinging his arms around and turns his body almost sideways to you, there's a shot right around the rim of the shoulder, and it gets into him internally. And although it pings around and resists partially, 19 points to any construct is not too shabby. Well done, sir. And he glitches. He does a sharp shunt before resuming contact.
I'll
Combat.
reload.
Okay.
And shoot again. Just for regular hit with 20.
Okay. You still putting the -1 in there?
Yep.
Okay. And you do how many?
2 points resisted. And that's me.
So I have a question. How do you go from a black D8 and a bunch of D10s to just a D6 on its own?
That's the traits of the gun, the dueling pistol.
Okay, so the crit doesn't double the D6 as in 2D6. It just ups it to a D10 instead of a D6?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's the
It's
fatal
a
trait.
fatal
It changes.
D10.
I get the fatal trait where you get the purple dice or precision dice, and then there's the other D10. Oh, I see it. It ups it to D10s, and the green one is the second one. Okay, I see it now. I'm just so used to Drew's Halfling Investigator on Friday nights of Age of Ashes, the Elven Portal podcast. Check it out, where there's a string of D6s, all different colors when he shoots his little bow after doing a stratagem. And Matt wets his pants, and I cringe because he's just lethal.
It's so cool. It's just so cool. It's like, wow.
But they're 9th level, and Valentine is our cool kid on the block at 4th level with these awesome. Look at Speaker's face. It's like we're taking all his thunder away. The guy just did a crit. But we should.
Oh,
leave
yeah,
him
no,
alone.
He is doing
I
some
can't
cool
wait till
stuff.
fucking Valentine's 9th level, man. I'll be throwing out same sort of stuff.
I'll never allow it. You'll be dead and onto your 3rd character. So who's next? Manbrio?
I'll just
That
keep
is
making the
me.
same character.
Keeps getting resurrected.
I will interact to swap from my whip to piercing wind.
Okay.
Now I don't have this worked in with panache, but that doesn't really matter because I'm going to burn it all anyways. Mwahahaha. So I will step in and unleash my confident finisher, which adds you make an incredibly graceful attack piercing your foe's defenses. Make a strike with a weapon or unarmed attack that would apply your precise strike damage with the following failure effect. You deal half your precise strike damage to the target on if I miss. So I still do damage if I miss, which is kind of cool. So don't miss. That's a really campy thing. All right, here we go. So I switched to the weapon, I stepped in, and now I will unleash my confident finisher upon the humanoid construct. Big money. It's a hit. I will take it.
I might add that if he wasn't prone, that 19 would have missed. So good on you.
Sick. All right. So it'll be 1d6 plus 2 plus where's my frickin' panache business? I think it's 2d6 precision damage. And I'm not sure how that applies versus the damage resistances.
Okay, we'll throw it up there and we'll see what happens.
Oh, it should be plus
Look,
3. Should be plus 3. Not 2. Hiya. Oh, crappy roll. 4 damage, and then it should be 2d6. Precision damage. I'm just rolling the numbers raw. I don't know how that applies versus the...
My resistance comes off of the first. So out of 10 points, he should take something because you've got 6 and the 4. So let me just look him up again here. Let's have a look here. I am physical 5. So he'll take 4 points.
Okay.
Which brings me up to
It's
this.
better than no points.
Yep. And again, as you guys start beating on him, he still has a lot of fight in him, but you certainly are turning the tide as he starts to hazardly glitch, wave around, and slow down a little bit. Still a lethal construct, but, better to role play the lack of hit points than to just go, he's got this many left. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want to role play my pain. That kind of came out wrong. You get the idea. Describe the wound you've inflicted upon me. Yeah, I'll just act it out. Almembrio, you're finished?
That is all my action, sir. And I got to use the piercing wind as a melee weapon. Woo!
Oh, okay. Tiny, oh yeah, that's cool. This is the named weapon that you and Drew's alternate character earned with Joe Davis's Cat Inventor at the very end of season 1.
Yes.
When we did Headshot the Rot OVA.
Yep. Yeah,
now
I
you bring it here.
Magical item.
Yeah, it's mine. Which brings us to Pilo. Charwin, you're on deck.
Well, I'm not sure if there's much else I can do other than just yell at the damn thing again. All my friends seem to be hitting it so hard, I'm just going to scream at him.
Okay.
Give him another hit of haunting him, because it seemed to work last time.
Yeah, like even chipping away, man. Like Valentine with that fire eye chipping away at the warm. Like that constant attrition definitely helped.
Successfully saved has damage.
So he only takes 2 out of 4. But hey, I'm getting used to your singing voice. Any actions left?
Wood, fellas.
I have 1 action left, and I am going to move back a step here.
Yep.
1 step to the... There.
Okay. In just left to center of the room, on top of a table, refusing my $10 tip money, stands Arwin, formerly known as the Win rodeo champion, or at least they think that's who he is, and now he's aged. Nobody really knows that he's a spy. What? Did I say that out loud? Never mind. You got a 10-foot long reach with this spear. Your opponent, straight past a window in a corner, is 10 feet away. To its immediate left, this little tiny, very charming, with a whipped dog. To his immediate left and closer to you, Pilo. Your desk you're standing on goes 5 feet to your left. On the end of it, the mighty dwarf healer. And bravely entering the room, touching his foe, and then running away to the doorway for cover, because it's just a thing he did in war times. Valentine is taking really, really effective pot shots, I might add, from the corner. How can you finish this fight, Charwin?
Let's go ahead and use my long spear as an attack with a 25 for a hit. With, oh, nice. 10 damage, partially resisted for 5 damage.
Still, that damn bands of armor, but you managed to get in there and stir up a couple components. Not bad. Anything else?
Let's try it one more time.
Okay.
Do second attack at a +5 for 15, a miss.
Okay.
And then I will use a 1-action heal spell on myself.
Is that not?
So I can do a 1-action, a 2-action, or a 3-action.
Okay. I thought the heals all started at 2 actions. Okay. Cool.
Nope. Start at 1 for a touch.
Okay. So
What is it?
if you
Touch 2 is an extra health, and then 3 is a burst.
so you're like a raw you're like a raw D8 right now, right?
I'll do a level 2, so I'll do 2d8, but no plus. Oh, bad
Sorry,
dice.
I'm sorry. A level 2?
Yep, level 2 heal spell.
Oh, you mean you're pulling it at a higher? Yeah, okay, I got you. Because you can heighten these suckers. I got you.
Yep.
Nice. Unfortunately, possible 16 with 2d8. You only got
3. Yeah, I was hoping for at least an 8, but okay.
That was a lot. Oh, you're dodging combat and you only get a couple fingers under the shirt of your chest. Heal. Which brings us to round 5. The DMs like to call the finishing round, where most combats end. And everyone's got to show off a couple of cool abilities. And this is where a whole bunch of GMs just kind of fold. They say, my monster's less than 30% of hit points. You guys are still over 50% of hit points. And the first hop towards the monster, and he dies. But we're not at your home table. We're playing rules as written. And if I got hit points left, and I'm an automaton, and I'm going to fight to the death, it's exactly what I'm going to do. But now, I need to get up off the floor. Excuse me. So I get up. Rise up, rise up. Get up off floor. One action. Do I provoke? No? Okay. I get up. And I'm going to take a slap at Manbrio this time, since he seemed to be the most effective thing and the closest thing. Get away from me.
Effective at all, actually.
20 with a hit. I like my personal space, and you are closest. I smack you for 17 points of damage.
It's very hard. I am at exactly half health now.
I know. And with athletics check and my last action, I try to push you gently. 16?
That is a failure, sir.
And you go
How do you push a little itty bitty dude?
I just figure you just roll, or your body spins like a cylinder, so it just off the top of you. The feet are still planted like you're an actual toy.
Push my torso, and it just kind of like it's on strings, right? You know those dolls.
It's a box, and you push up through the bottom of the box, and it makes the little string detached thing bounce everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm resistant to push, but -5 against small children with grubby fingers. Watch out. All right. 1 to get up, 1 to slap, 17 points, but I fail on the push, and that's me. Andreas Stoutbeard, you are up. Blaster Valentine, get ready, you're on deck.
Aha. So, Andres will charge in.
Okay.
We'll take a swing at the creature here.
Okay.
With his light hammer.
He goes to charge, scooches between the table and Pylo, squeak, 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 runs down, not at him, bite him, and then turns with the momentum, plant a foot off the window and come down with a big hammer strike.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Well, that's how you move your mini, so that's how I'm calling it. But you still have your friend. There you go. I managed to erase Charwin from your list of targets at the last second. From your heal spell. No, that's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Oh, dude, the dice was spinning. I hit delete, and then I'm quickly hovering the thing over onto your opponent and dropped it just as the dice fell, so that you got a
20,
which hits
for a total of 6 points of damage.
Partially resisting 5.
I feel confident that I'm standing in Charwin's way, so I will raise my shield and use my Devoted Guardian ability to help protect El Manubrio. So I get 2 to my AC and he gets 1.
Sick.
Let's talk about that ability.
So an ability granted to me by Bri due to my devotion to her as a champion. So I use my shield and I am able to parry some of the attacks that are targeted towards my ward, who in this case I choose to be El Manubrio.
Okay. Very cool. If you worshipped her sister, Ree, the goddess of the invention of cheese, you get a +3. Just saying. All right. And that's you?
Done. Digging deep
that's
tonight,
right.
Jeff?
That I am. The parody campaign is coming. Maybe that's what we'll do with our late slot, is a complete parody campaign. Blaster Valentine.
Pronounce it Briff.
Riff.
I'm going to running reload and move beside Pylo.
Okay. Slipping back into the room at the end of the table.
Take a shot again.
Plant your hands like a tripod at the end of the actual desk and
Oh, is that a feat you have where you can run and reload at the same time?
Yes.
That is.
oh, dude, Gunslingers are
really
so sick in this
cool.
new rule set. It's like
I also have
Inventor?
a feat that
yeah.
it enables I can reload my one-handed weapon if I'm holding another weapon in my left hand, so I can have two pistols and reload them at the same time. Or my character's more like having a melee weapon in one hand and a pistol in the other.
Yeah, that's great.
It is very, very cool.
I very much like it.
And we like it too. Now, Irish Spring, what's your next
Attempting
move?
to fire a kill shot. That's not going to do it. It's a 22, but the damage is not going to be there. Resisted.
No. So now what?
Just reload, and that's me. I was thinking about using my energy beam, but it would be at the third attack.
But actually, isn't it a giant weapon? Do you get -8, or is it a full like -10, which would be like
It's a full
terribly-
-10.
So risky at best.
Yeah, better just reload and move on.
All right. Amendable. Manuel Brio. Sorry.
Manu Brio.
El Manu Brio.
Yeah, there you go. If you do that,
T-
you're on your game. You've done pretty good. You're batting over 50% tonight, Jeff. So I got to give you credit. I do pick tricky names specifically just to tie your tongue up. So
That's okay. I've respelt your name in your character. Now I'll get it every time. It's now Manu Brio.
Yep. All right.
Apologies
I'm just
to
gonna do what I do best. Roll in with a trippy trip.
Apologies to my English teacher.
A critical success. Let's go again.
Oh, and damage.
Nothing, because he resists unless I roll a 6. But hey, I'll take it.
Sorry, Charlie. Yeah. All good.
And is he? Yeah. So he's prone now.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. This is my only complaint: is I've got to take the little marker flag off of you. Put it on
by the way,
him.
Ole. Because it gives me panache.
Oh,
And
is that your panache, Ole?
But yeah, so the that's exactly whatever I do.
Oh,
so
I know a
so I don't
certain-
spam it when I'm just walking around with panache, but when I use my
up in the
panache and get her
up
back,
in the rafters right now, there is a rat swashbuckler taking notes, going, "Oh, that's good, panache. I need some kind of tag, right, Troy?"
It's all so catchphrasey. I feel like that's the way the character's intended to be, or the class is intended to be played. And I will again take this opportunity to stab him when he's down. Maybe I'll do enough damage this time with my confident finisher, but I missed, so not happening. But he takes half precision damage. So he takes 2 points of no damage.
2 points. No. What? how does that work again?
Because he.
You mean no
resists, right?
damage out of 2 points? Yeah, I know, but you said 2 points of no damage as opposed to like 0 of 2.
Yeah,
I saw what you did there. Welcome to the world of
I deal 2
Jeffism.
points of damage that he doesn't take because he's a very, very tough little construct thingamajigger. And so that was
Oh, you got to write that. You got to write that in your notes. You flip them over. It says Thingamajigger Inc.
So I have another action. I'm going to do. I'm just gonna pout for 2 seconds.
He's a kid's toy. It's supposed to be cute. In combat, everyone's just looking at him funny. Philo, what do you want to do? Charwin, get ready. You're on deck.
Jeez, guys, this thing has been pounding the crap out of us. We still haven't beat it. Like, is it looking pretty rough? Like, when we're looking at the thing, it looks like it's about to fall apart, or is it kind of still looking strong?
I wouldn't say about to fall apart, but it's moving slower. It's glitching more. I wouldn't say its aim is worse because they don't do penalties with lower hit points. But I would say a crafting check could narrow you in. I will say that if you pay attention to the actual chat, there's a full, lightly wounded, which is above 75%, moderately wounded, meaning I'm above 50%, heavily wounded, which means I'm only above 25%, and critically wounded, which means I'm below 25% of my hit points. And he is just hovering around the heavily crit.
If I were to attack right now with a line attack, it would go through and hit El Manubrio, right?
It would.
So if I move forward 5 feet to that spot I was just in, right there, I put a little marker on the map there. And I'm going to look at this. I mean, I don't know if this would work.
Did we ever get back on those bouncing? On the spells bouncing? Did we ever find anything on that?
It's, Eric put it in the chat for us here to see that it's basically...
Oh, spells reflect and expand in unusual ways. If it hits a barrier, especially confused spaces, the spell description usually governs its spread. Now, this is right out of the core? This is right out of the core book? You're posting here, or right off the Nethys?
This is the GM allows. This is like it's not a rule. It's your idea. If you want it to,
I know, but anything. Hey, trust me. The fact that our free archetype could be allowed, and everyone's like, "It is. It's a thing. It's a thing." Well, guess what? I'm using the word "could" now for the GM as well as players. Thank you. I'm going to say
it's just saying that the remaster rules did not have anything on it. It's your calling. Whatever your ruling was okay.
Yep.
What?
Whatever you.
So where does this come from? This is like old legacy?
Chat GPT.
Chad GPT.
Chat GPT. So he asked the internet what it would say, and it found the answer for us. The old rules might have covered it. The new remastered rules don't cover it. So now it's up to you to kind of decide if you want.
Oh, okay. Sorry. When I ask you guys look stuffing up, I want you to go to Nethys. I don't trust anything that's AI. Like, I understand that scans the whole internet, but I do know that Nethys is now officially backed by Paizo, and we want to find our answers there, and copies of the actual book. Well, here's my thought. I like the idea of bouncing spells because I think in the long run, players are going to be able to do some very cool shit with it. You know what I mean? Imagine bouncing a spell around a corner to get a guy you couldn't normally get, as opposed to DM going, sorry, he has half cover. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a doorway and the room's only 5 foot deep and then goes left 5-10 feet, and he's all the way around the corner, and you bounce a spell into the crooks, and you have a 15-20 foot line, wouldn't you love me to hook that around the corner?
You'd still have concealment. You'd still have the concealment bonus.
No, if you were standing in the doorway, like if you could look in.
No, it makes perfect sense. There's no
here.
If that's gonna
no. I just how long's your line?
15 foot.
What is the spell? What's the energy source?
Haunting him, it is a 15-foot cone, divine occult, somatic and verbal. You echo.
Does it say target?
Huh?
Is it everything, or is it only opponents within the range?
You echo a jarring hymn that only creatures in the area can hear. Your hymn deals sonic damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay, so it's everybody that can hear it inside the cone. Okay.
If a target critically fails, but it doesn't, and I don't target, it just hits.
So, using years of knowledge and relying on numbers, I would go by the damage. I would say a spell that only does 4 points of damage would not bounce very much. Yes, it's spread out 4, 4, 4, 4, 8, 16. You know what I mean? But if we halved it, you know what I'm saying? Like if this was like a 30-point spell, all 15, I could see that bouncing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going with intensity here, right?
Yeah, so it's not too long.
So exactly. So I'm gonna say no. I don't think I would bounce a cantrip, and I think that might actually be a good way for us to set a precedence. Is for every spell level you get 5 foot of bounce. So if you drop a 3rd level spell, it could bounce 5-10 feet. You drop a 5th level spell, it could possibly, depending on the spell description, bounce more. But 1st and 2nd level spells, very unlikely to.
Now, what about a spell like I'm looking at here? That's a 30-foot line.
Depends on it's not the distance traveled. I would say it's the spell level if we're looking for some kind of cap to bounce it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now again, this is me just pulling some GM experience out of a hat, because this is the type of thing that many different and many different types of the D20 system, Star Wars, 5 editions of D&D. These are the types of things is they don't just say GM ruling. They want the GM to think about numbers, right? To make it sure, you want the flavor and you want to use physics, but usually it would break down to, well, how far does it bounce? How much damage does it do? Well, using existing numbers like spell level and actual damage. Anyway, we'll look into this further, but in the moment, I will say that you guys are only looking at 1 point of damage if he fires this off in any circumstance. And if you save, you'll take none. If you fail, you guys will take like 1. And then again, there are those layers of safety. Crit fail, you would take all of it because it bounced in your face. Fail, you take 8 point. Save, you're fine. Crit, he hands you a megaphone.
Previous 2, are we just going to let them be?
Yeah, we'll just let that be, because now this is becoming a pressing concern. You know what I mean? Okay.
So the spell I'm looking at now is a 30-foot line, but it's not like a... how would you work that, though, in a room like this, where it's a 30-foot line?
I would, like I said, relying more on spell power of physics. You know what I mean? Like, think of it this way. It's not like you're throwing a ball with your arm. Imagine flicking a quarter against a wall. Now, if you're in an open room, you could flick that quarter 20 feet. But if you're going to use your 1 finger spell level cantrip to flick it at a corner, it's just going to bounce and land at your feet. But it might bounce back and hit you. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So there's enough power to get the 30 feet, but really not enough to oh my God, that's quarter just bounced around the room. You follow me? Okay, so
I wasn't sure if we're gonna have every spell is now gonna bounce around a room. If it's a 30-foot spell, is it gonna bounce? No. Those now that would be, we would get into, there are feats for shaping spells. Okay, and I think that's why the feat is there, for flavor and to change that type of thing. No, we're only even considering this for 2 big reasons. 1, you have something cornered in an echoey room, and 2, you're using a sonic attack at point blank range. Your square is touching his square. He's crammed into a corner. There might be some kind of reverberation that hits you because you literally got a guy on your left and a friend on your right. You know what I mean? That's the only reason we're having this conversation. Perfect.
I'm not going to start going nuts with all your spells. Don't worry about it. That would make spell casting very shitty. Okay.
Well, I'm going to look at this little creature here. I'm going to go, I just want you to die already. I'm going to hold up my hand and go, sometimes it just takes some dark energy to make something go away. You're going to see some black tendrils kind of form off my fingers and zap out at the guy. And I'm going to cast Grim Tendrils.
Ooh. And they originate from you, or they originate from his square?
Tendrils of darkness curl out from your fingertips and race through the air, and it deals a 2d4 void damage and 1 persistent bleed damage to living creatures in the line. I don't think this is living, but it does get us a save, so I will see if they save.
Okay.
For some reason, one of the tendrils seems to be coming from his pelvic bone.
It's a pretty grim tendril. That's the grimmest of all the tendrils.
I don't like using this, guys, but
Here it comes.
Pulls the robes apart, right? Takes his fingers and pulls the robes apart right at waist level and plants his fingers on his hips, and voila! Pelvic thrust. I call this the time warp. All right.
I only got a one shooter. So
That's off to you. That was a way better joke than mine.
Cut down. So 5 damage. He made the save, so it's cut down to 2.
Okay.
2 damage.
Now,
As a spell and the movement is done.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What if I gave him a reduced save? You are right beside him, and the sonic would hit him from behind. You know what I mean? So like anything that a GM does has to be balanced. And if you'd cast Haunting him, I would actually make it harder for him to save because he's cornered in an, you know what I mean? Like it's not only dangerous for you guys, it's actually more dangerous for your target. So there's a small light at the end of your tunnel. I could raise your DC by 2 because, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, this range 30-foot line of tendrils smokes out and does what kind of damage am I looking at here? Just void magic damage?
Void damage.
Okay, so because magic is its own thing, your tendrils lash out and lacerate it, and its own physical composition is what stands up to it, and that's not much I can do in the world of saving throws against that kind of damage, so unfortunately he only takes 2. But now he looks like he's a, you know, I wouldn't say a spit, but a slap away from falling apart as he seriously starts to glitch. And he's stuck on the one tendril that's coming out of his pelvic, and we're having this some kind of nasty looking tummy sword fight, and Pylo can't get free. Charwin, save us.
Don't fight it, man. Just don't fight it. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not.
This is happening. This is happening. This save me. Turns to Charwin. Make it end.
Oh no, I gotta put him out of his misery.
I don't know if Troy's laughing or just fell out of his chair.
Lots of people around, lots of friendlies. So let's try and use a long spear attack through a friendly.
There's about 80 to 90 audience members around too, soaking up this terrible back and forth between me and Troy. Matt does bring out the worst in us, and I don't mean Spiegler. Charwin, what do you want to do?
I want to attack through a friendly, so I've got lesser cover on. I'll attack with my spear, trying to use the shield, but it doesn't work. Miss with a 14.
Okay.
You know what? I'll spend a hero point, and let's try that again.
Okay.
This is worth it, I think. Lesser cover again. Trying with the spear. There we go. 30 for a critical hit.
So you go to lunge, and then you think about it and pull back, and then wait for your opportune moment, and then it's just a step to the left.
Yeah, I'll even use Andreas's shield as a little bit of guidance on that final attack.
Yeah. It's just a jump to the right.
14 damage for 9 damage total.
You've seen those DC Superman cartoons, and there's always like some big pole or rod from a building just goes through the android, and you see the sparks and electrical surge as the thing flop, just arc all the way up the rod. And this is what happens is your metal spear tip pierces this automaton, and before it falls limp and void of life and movement, there's just sort of this arcing spark as if lifeblood or juices and of course oil ends it. And Valentine immediately throws up oil everywhere because, you know, to him this is a very vulgar, gross, you're just ending a machine, but to him it's just terrible, you know. I mean, the last thing we killed, Valentine went over and tried.
I got thicker hide than that.
All right. So you didn't spend the last half hour trying to close metallic eyes that weren't there on your last opponent? No, please rest, brother.
These are all, what is the word? Lesser constructs, so I'm above all that.
Oh, is that like a short joke against El Manubrio? Well, we could argue that. Go ahead.
I still have yet to figure out how advanced Manubrio's mechanics are.
Well, you can pull them apart Maybe the tip of a spear next time.